Hi, good morning. Today we are going to discuss one corollary and we are going to discuss about perfect fields. So the first one is a corollary. Now just look at the statement of the corollary. The statement is if E is a finite extension of F, if E is a finite extension of F, then E is separable over F if and only if each element alpha belongs to E is separable over F. Okay, once again, E is a finite extension of F, clear? E is a finite extension of F. Then this corollary says that E is separable over F if and only if each element alpha belongs to E is separable over F. Each element is separable over F. Okay. So, moving to the proof, suppose that E is separable over F and we have to prove that each element alpha belongs to E is separable over F. To prove an element alpha belongs to E is separable over F, what we have to prove? We have to prove F of alpha is a separable extension of F. Okay. So, given E is separable over F and we know that for each element alpha belongs to E, uh, we have F is a subfield of F of alpha is a subfield of E. Okay. And given that E is separable over F. By previous theorem, this implies E is separable over F of alpha and F of alpha is separable over F. Now, F of alpha is separable over F means F of alpha is a separable extension of F. F of alpha is a separable extension of F implies alpha is separable over F. Clear? We suppose that E is separable over F and we take an alpha belongs to E and we have to prove that alpha is separable over F. That is F of alpha is a separable extension of F. That is what we have to prove. As E is separable over F by previous theorem, this implies E is separable over F of alpha and F of alpha is separable over F. F of alpha is separable over F implies alpha is separable over F. Okay, since alpha is arbitrary, we can prove that every alpha in A is separable over F. Now, conversely, suppose that for each element alpha belongs to E, alpha is separable over F. Okay, and we have to prove that E is separable over F. Okay, so alpha is separable over F implies F of alpha is a separable extension of F. F of alpha is a separable. For each alpha belongs to E, F of alpha is a separable extension of F. And given E is a finite extension of F, using by our earlier properties, there exists alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n such that we have this result. F is a subfield of F of alpha 1 is a subfield of F of alpha 1, alpha 2 and finally we reach here. Okay. Since each alpha I is separable over F because if alpha belongs to E, then F of alpha is a separable extension of F. That means alpha is separable over F. Okay. Since each alpha I is separable over F, what about we have irreducible of alpha I over F have zeros and each zeros have multiplicity 1 using our previous theorem. Okay, given alpha is for each alpha belongs to E separable over F, therefore each alpha, where is alpha in, there exists alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n belongs to E. That means each F of alpha I is a separable extension of F. Okay, separable extension of F means alpha is separable over F. Alpha is separable over F means all the zeros of irreducible of alpha I over F have multiplicity 1. Now let Q of x is equal to irreducible of alpha I over F of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha I minus 1. Clear? Q of x equal to irreducible of alpha I over F of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha I minus 1. Now we have irreducible of alpha I over F clearly belongs to, that is a polynomial in F of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha I minus 1 of x. Okay. Because we are taking alpha, clearly alpha I not belongs to F of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha I minus 1. Okay, and we are considering irreducible of alpha I over f, and clearly that belongs to, that is a polynomial in f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., f of alpha I of x. And alpha I is a 0 of q of x of multiplicity 1, because multiplicity of alpha I over f is 1, and q of x is the irreducible. Okay, q of x divides irreducible of alpha I over f. Okay, q of x is irreducible of alpha I over f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. And we know that irreducible of alpha I over f clearly belongs to f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I of x. For this, if you consider the polynomial x square minus 2, this is actually irreducible of root 2 over q. Okay, clearly this is a polynomial. This is a polynomial in q of x. Also, this is a polynomial in x square minus 2 is a polynomial in q of root 2 of x. If it is a polynomial in q of x, all elements of q is clearly belongs to q of root x. So irreducible of alpha I over f, clearly this belongs to f of x, and which is also belongs to this of x. And clearly alpha I is a 0 of this one. Okay. Now q of x divides irreducible of alpha I over f. Okay. That is, all the zeros of irreducible of alpha I over f of alpha I 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1 have multiplicity 1. This implies, we know that clearly q of x divides irreducible of alpha I over, because if you consider irreducible of root 2 over q of root 2. What is irreducible? This is clearly x minus root 2. Clearly, our this x minus root 2 divides our x square minus 2. That's happening here. Okay. Our q of x is irreducible of alpha I over f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. Clearly, this is a polynomial. This is a polynomial in this here, and our or you can write this root 2 is a 0 of this polynomial, but this is the irreducible. Okay, so therefore clearly our q of x divides irreducible of alpha I over f, or you can compare with this example for clearing this section. Okay, I think now you got how q of x divides irreducible alpha I over f. Okay, so for irreducible of alpha I over f, each root have multiplicity 1. Therefore, all the zeros of q of x also have multiplicity 1. That implies, if you consider alpha I over this one, all the zeros have multiplicity 1. That means this alpha I is separable over f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., f of alpha I minus 1. Alpha I is separable over this one. Some alpha I is separable over f. What is the meaning of that? F of alpha I is a separable extension of f. Here alpha I is separable over f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. That means f of alpha 1, etc., alpha I is separable over f. That means f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I is a separable extension of f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. Sorry, f of alpha 1, this is separable over f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. That is, f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I is a separable extension of f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha I minus 1. Okay. So, using this equation, and from here, what we get? This one. We have this one, and this implies we are comparing this one. Okay, this is a separable extension of f, and this is a separable extension of this one, and here finally we get this is a separable extension of f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha n minus 1. Combining these two, we get f of alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha n is a separable extension of f of is a separable extension of f. That is, we have f is a subfield of f of alpha 1, and this is a f of alpha 1 alpha 2, and this is f of alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha 3. Okay, like this. Okay, so by this result, f of alpha 1 alpha 2 is a separable extension of f of alpha 1. Here f of alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha 3 is a separable extension of this one. Okay, that means this is, and this is a separable extension of this one. From this is a separable extension of this one. From these we get this is a separable extension of f. And finally we get E equal to f of alpha 1 alpha 2 etc. alpha n is a separable extension of f. That is E is separable over f. Okay. So we have what we get. We get if E is a finite extension of f, then E is separable over f if and only if each alpha in E is separable over f. Now moving to next definition, perfect field. Before that, we have to discuss one lemma. Now what is the lemma? Let F closure be an algebraic closure of F. Let F closure be an algebraic closure of F, and let f of x equal to x raised to n plus a n minus 1 x raised to etc. plus be any monic polynomial on F closure. Monic polynomial means highest degree have coefficient 1. If f of x whole raised to m belongs to f of x and m into 1 not equal to 0 in F, then f of x belongs to f of x. Once again, if f of x whole raised to m belongs to f of x and m into 1 not equal to 0 in F, then f of x belongs to f of x. That is, all ai belongs to f of x belongs to f of x means all ai's must belongs to f. Okay, once again, let f closure be an algebraic closure of f. F of x is be any monic polynomial in f closure. That is, f of x is any monic polynomial in f closure, and we have f of x whole raised to m clearly belongs to f of x. Okay, then and if m into 1 not equal to 0, then f of x must belongs to f of x. Okay. Okay. Here we are taking an f of x monic polynomial that belongs to f closure x. And if this condition holds, then f of x must belongs to f of x. Okay. We are going to prove f of x whole raised to m equal to this one. We have f of x. Okay. F of x is this monic polynomial, and we are considering whole raised to m. And we are taking x raised to n outside 1 plus this one, and this one, and this one. Whole raised to m. Okay, and here this become x raised to nm and this whole raised to m, and we are taking this as of the form 1 plus x whole raised to m. Okay, binomial expansion, and this is equal to x raised to nm 1 plus mc1, and for x we have this 2. Okay, so m plus mc2 this one. Okay. Now, if you consider coefficient of x raised to mn, coefficient of x raised to mn or nm is 1. Coefficient. Okay. Now, coefficient of x raised to mn minus 1. If you multiply this one, we get here x raised to mn. And if you multiply this here, this x raised to mnm, x raised to nm into here 1 x in the denominator cancel with each other, and we get x raised to nm minus 1. And what about mc1? mc1 is m, and we have here an minus 1. So coefficient of x raised to mn minus 1 is mc1 an minus 1, and which is equal to m a n minus 1. Now coefficient of x raised to mn minus 2. And here we have a n minus 2 mc1 a n minus 2. And if you consider next term, here we have okay, this whole square. This whole square means we have this square. Okay, so we have mc2, and here we have x square. If you multiply this with x raised to nm, then we get x raised to nm minus 2. So here we have mc2 an minus 2 square. So mc2 here an minus 2 square, an minus 1 square. Okay. And this is actually an minus 2 plus some g2, a function of an minus 1. Okay. Now what about coefficient of x raised to mn minus 3? So here we have an minus 3, we have an minus 3, mc1 an minus 3, that is m this one, and mc2 we have here, this is square, and whole square means a plus b plus c whole square. If you consider this is of the form a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus, like this. Okay, so if you multiply these two and 2 times, we get an minus 1 an minus 2 divided by x cube, and when this multiplied with our x and mn, the coefficient become x nm minus 3. So the coefficient is as a function of an minus 1 and an minus 2. So that's why we are writing like this here, g3 of, and you can there is another term mc2 like x cube, that means an minus 1 by n minus 1 whole cube by x cube. Okay, so that term, if you include that term also, this clearly a function of n minus 1 and n minus 3. Okay, and finally this a coefficient of x raised to mn minus k plus 1 become this, like this, m a n minus k plus 1, if you consider this two. Okay, this is mn minus 3 and this is an minus 3. This is mn minus k plus 1, this is n minus k plus 1. Okay, plus this is g3 and this is gk plus 1, an minus 1 an minus 2 up to an minus k. Okay, so we have to prove what we have to prove. We have to prove ai belongs to f. Okay, so to prove this, we are using induction on r by showing a n minus r belongs to f. Suppose r equal to 1. So then what happens? F of x raised to m is equal to this whole raised to m. Given f of x raised to m belongs to f of x. So coefficient of x raised to mn minus 1 in f of x whole raised to m is in what about the coefficient? That is actually this one, m a n minus 1 here, m a n minus 1. Okay, and m a n minus 1 belongs to, because f of x whole raised to m, this is belongs to f of x, and this whole raised to m means clearly coefficient of x raised to m also belongs to, that means a n minus 1 belongs to f. This implies a n minus 1 belongs to f. Okay, therefore the result is true when r is equal to 1. Now we have to assume the result is true for r is equal to a n minus r belongs to f for r is equal to 1 to etc. k, and we have to prove a n minus k plus 1 belongs to f. The result is true, that means the result is true for k plus 1. So for r equal to k plus 1, the coefficient of x raised to mn minus k plus 1 in f of x whole raised to m is of the form m minus 1 a n minus k plus 1 plus gk of this one. Okay, where gk of this is a formal polynomial in a n minus 1 etc. Okay, by hypothesis gk plus 1 of a n minus 1 a n minus 2 etc. belongs to f, because we have assumed that a n minus r belongs to f for every r is equal to k 1 to etc. k. So a n minus 1 a n minus 2 etc. a n minus 1 belongs to f. That means if you consider this polynomial, this also belongs to f, which implies this term belongs to f, this also belongs to f, implies this also belongs to f, because okay, now this belongs to f implies a n minus 1, this belongs to f, because m into 1 not equal to 0. Okay, this belongs to f implies clearly this also must belongs to f, because otherwise, because this, if this is not belongs to f, this means mn minus 1 into some 1 must be equal to 0, but that is a contradiction because we have m into 1 not equal to 0. That means a n minus k plus 1 belongs to f. Therefore, we get all the AI belongs to F by induction process. That means our polynomial f of x belongs to f of x. Okay. We must use the condition m into 1 not equal to 0. Okay. Now there is one definition. A field f is perfect if every finite extension is a separable extension. A field is perfect if every finite extension is a separable extension. We are going to prove one important theorem. This is very important. There are two results. The first one is every field of characteristic 0 is perfect. And another one is every finite field is perfect. Okay, this we will discuss in our next class. And now this is every finite field is perfect, and this is every field of characteristic 0 is perfect. This is one of the important theorem. Okay, proof is very easy. We have a field is perfect if every finite extension is a separable extension. Okay, so every field of characteristic 0 is perfect. For proving this, every field of characteristic 0 is perfect, we have to take a finite extension of that field, and we have to prove that is a separable extension. Let E be a finite extension of F and a field of characteristic 0. And we have to prove every element, let alpha belongs to, and we are going to prove alpha is separable over F. Okay, let f of x equal to irreducible of alpha over f. Then f of x factors in f of x into product I x minus alpha I raised to nu, because f of x is irreducible of alpha over f. Therefore, this is, you can write this as product I x minus alpha I raised to nu, where alpha I are the distinct zeros of irreducible of alpha over f. Okay, and say alpha is equal to some alpha 1. Okay. Now f of x you can write like this, f of x equal to product I x minus alpha I, and this you can write like this. Okay, product I x minus alpha I raised to nu. Since nu into 1 not equal to 0, because f is of field of characteristic 0, nu into 1 not equal to 0. Okay, characteristic of 0 means there does not exist any integer n such that n into 1 not equal to 0. So for clearly nu into 1 not equal to 0. F of x, clearly this is a okay, this f of x is a polynomial in f closure of x, and this whole raised to nu into 1 not equal to 0. And product, we must have product I. This implies this f of x, what we have, this f of x, this is a polynomial in f closure x, and this whole raised to nu. What is our whole raised to nu? F of x, and clearly f of x is in f of x. Okay, because our f of x is irreducible of alpha over f. Irreducible of alpha over f must be a polynomial in f of x. Okay, this whole raised to nu belongs to f of x, and nu into 1 not equal to 0 by previous theorem. That means this, if you consider, if you removing this nu, this two, product I x minus alpha I belongs to f of x by lemma or lemma. Okay, you must change the number. Since f of x is an irreducible polynomial of minimal degree in f of x having alpha as 0, we must have this belongs to f of x. But irreducible of alpha over f is a polynomial with minimal degree in f of x having alpha as 0. Clearly we get mu must be equal to 1. Okay, by definition irreducible polynomial, this is equal to this one. Okay, therefore nu equal to 1 means all the zeros of irreducible of alpha over f have multiplicity 1. I am repeating, f of x is this is a polynomial in f of x. Okay, once again I am repeating, we are taking f of x equal to irreducible of alpha over f, and this clearly factors into this of the form. And as it is a irreducible polynomial, using our previous result, every zeros have multiplicity same. Therefore, we are taking multiplicity as new. So this is a polynomial in F closure X. And this polynomial you can write like this. As F is a field of characteristic 0, nu into 1 not equal to 0. And this whole raised to nu, clearly this belongs to F of X. By previous result, this implies F of X whole raised to M belongs to F of X. Okay, so here this whole raised to nu belongs to n. That means this belongs to F of X. This is a polynomial in F of X, and clearly alpha is 0 of this polynomial, and that means irreducible of alpha over F is of this form. That means every 0 of irreducible of alpha over F have multiplicity 1. That means alpha is separable over F. And by corollary, each element, we are taking an arbitrary element alpha. Every element alpha belongs to E is separable over F. That implies E is a separable over F. And as E is an arbitrary finite extension of F, we get every finite extension of F is separable extension, which implies F is a perfect field. Okay, once again, here we are choosing let E be a finite extension. E is an arbitrary finite extension. That means every finite extension of F is a separable extension, which implies F is perfect. Okay. In the next class, we will prove every finite field is perfect. Okay. That's all for today's class.